Hello there monsters and men, ladies and people, and welcome to Recharging and welcome to the range test of the first electric station wagon, also known as the MG5. The MG5 is similar in a lot of ways to the MG ZS EV, but in other ways it is also completely different. For example, this is the long-range version of the MG5, and where the long-range version of the MG ZS EV has a battery pack of 68 kilowatt hours of usable capacity, this one has a battery pack of 58 kilowatt hours of usable capacity. MG ZS EV 440 kilometers of WLTP range, this one 400. So in a 90 kilometers per hour test, this will probably get that 400 kilometers, but it cannot match the MG ZS EV. 130 kilometers per hour, maybe this car can match the MG ZS EV because, well, this car is more aerodynamic. But we will see. The car is charged to 90% and, well, you can see the conditions. There is sun, it is around 20 degrees right now, so the air conditioning doesn't have to work that hard. The wind, well, it is okay, there is no strong wind or anything, so yeah, again, the car is charged to 90%, so let's go. I have driven 36 kilometers and the car has used 9% state of charge, and I have to say the consumption is a bit higher than I expected it to be, because at the moment it is 15.2 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. So that means we cannot get the WLTP range of 400 kilometers. Even though it is 20 degrees Celsius outside, I think we have headwind, so maybe that is the reason why. But I expected the consumption to be around 14 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. And why? Because, well, that is the same consumption as the MG ZS EV had. I think that one had around 14.5. So I expected this car to also do around 14.5 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. So yeah, that's a bit of a letdown, a bit of a downside, but it is what it is. There's nothing I can do about it, really. Maybe on my way back, then the consumption will drop, because again, I think I have headwind. But I will just keep on driving and, well, again, it is what it is. Nothing I can do about it except keep driving 90 kilometers per hour. It is basically going like it has been going for the past hour. I have driven around an hour, I have driven 100 kilometers, the car has used 25% state of charge and the consumption is around 15 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. 14.8 at the moment to be precise. So yeah, the range, it seems like right now, is that 400 kilometers of WLTP range. So very good. I was hoping the consumption would be a little bit less, but it is slowly going down right now, and also the elevation is now going down, so that helps. But anyway, I will keep on going, driving 90, and yeah, that's it. I'll keep on going. Besides the fact that it started to rain and that, well, the wipers jitter, I don't know if that is the correct word, but jitter a lot, I don't know why. Everything is pretty much the same. Consumption 14.7 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers, used 50% state of charge. On that 50% I have driven around 200 kilometers. Yeah, again, everything is exactly the same. So the next update will be at the charger. With the results, that is probably a range of around 400 kilometers. Alright, let me give you the result of the 90 kilometers per hour test. I started this test with 90% state of charge and I arrived at the charger with 33%. So that means I've used 57%. On those 57% I have driven 226.7 kilometers. So you can do, in these conditions, 398 kilometers. Basically 400 kilometers. So the WLTP range. Very good, MG. The average consumption was 14.8 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. The temperature was between 21 and when it started to rain it was 16 degrees. So between 21 and 16 degrees Celsius. And I had rain for about 15 minutes, so not a whole lot. I looked back my video of the MG ZS EV. It was a bit colder back then, it was between 15 and 11 degrees Celsius. And that one had a consumption of 16.5 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. Maybe if it is that temperature, this car will also do around 15.5 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. But I have the feeling this car is just a bit more efficient than the MG ZS EV. It is more aerodynamic after all. So again, that is the result. It's actually not bad. It's better than I expected. When I started the test and I saw a consumption of 15.5 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers, I was a bit disappointed, but with 14.8, I can live with that. I can live with that. Yeah, well done MG, well done. I am charging up and then it is time for the 130 kilometers per hour test. Alrighty, time for the most fun part of the 130 kilometers per hour test. The acceleration. Yeah. This car is not insanely quick. It does 0 to 100 in about 8 seconds, but still quick enough. Power. Front wheels are slipping. Yeah, the car's quick enough. 110, 20, 30. Oh, it's already at 30. It was pretty good, pretty good. All right, let's set the cruise control to 132. Yeah, that's fine. And there we go. Let's do the 130 kilometers per hour test. I heard one video that the car was pretty loud at 130 kilometers per hour, but it's actually not that bad. Maybe our asphalt is better, our tarmac asphalt is better than in that video. I think that video was from Germany, but I don't think it is that bad, the sound isolation. Well, whatever, let's cruise. Okay, so I am doing my laps, and one lap is about 10% state of charge, and at the moment I have used around 33% state of charge. Let me go to the trip meter. Trip meter, where are you? There you are. And I have done 77 kilometers times 3. It's not a whole lot. It's not a whole lot. That is 230 kilometers to be precise. Again, that is not a whole lot. The average consumption is 24 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. So does that make sense? It kind of makes sense though. It's a bit disappointing. It's a bit disappointing at the moment. I was hoping a consumption of around 22 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers, and you could do around 275 kilometers while driving not top speed, 130 kilometers an hour, but it seems like that is not the case. But I'm going back on the highway, and then power. Can this front wheel drive do it? Yep, it can. Hello cars. Hello, and cruise control on. There we go. Okay, so I am back home. I am charging with 11 kilowatts and I'm a little bit yellowish / orange because, well, there are no LED lights in this car. Yeah, those lights are pretty hot, pretty old-fashioned. But anyway, let me give you the result of the 130 kilometers per hour test. I started this test with 82% and I arrived not here. I didn't arrive here. I arrived at a checkpoint with 12%. So that means I've used 70%. On those 70%, I have driven 166.4 kilometers. So if I do the calculation, you can drive while doing 130 kilometers an hour. When it is 17 degrees Celsius, 238 kilometers. Again, 238 kilometers. Am I happy with that? Yes and no. I expected the car to be a bit more efficient. I was hoping around 22 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers of consumption. But hey, you cannot have everything. This car was more efficient though than the MG ZS EV, because in my test that one consumed 26 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. Yes, it was a bit colder, but again, this car is a bit more aerodynamic, so yeah, it is more efficient. So that is the result, and those were the results, because also the 90 kilometers per hour test. Anyway, that was the end of the video. I hope you liked it, and if you did, please give a like. If you have something to say, leave a comment, and well, it would be awesome if you subscribed. And then I would like to say now, thank you a lot for watching, and as always, to be continued.